Linux users have been waiting for this moment, and now it's finally here. Linux Kernel 6.19 has officially been released, bringing one of the most important updates the Linux ecosystem has seen in recent years. Packed with major performance improvements, stronger security protections, expanded hardware compatibility, graphics enhancements, file system optimizations, and significant updates for both desktop and enterprise users, Linux 6.19 is more than just another routine kernel release. It represents a major step forward for the entire Linux platform and sets the stage for the upcoming Linux 7.0 era. For anyone unfamiliar with the Linux kernel, it is essentially the core of every Linux operating system. Whether you're using Ubuntu, Fedora, Arch Linux, Debian, Linux Mint, or countless other distributions, the kernel is the component responsible for managing hardware, memory, processes, storage, networking, and communication between software and physical devices. Every major kernel release directly affects performance, compatibility, stability, and security across the entire Linux ecosystem. One of the biggest reasons Linux 6.19 is generating excitement is the sheer amount of hardware support added in this release. Modern computing hardware evolves rapidly, and maintaining compatibility across thousands of devices is one of the Linux community's most challenging tasks. Linux 6.19 introduces improved support for upcoming Intel platforms, including continued enablement work for Intel's future processor architectures. Users running newer Intel hardware can expect better optimization, improved compatibility, and stronger performance as Linux continues preparing for next-generation systems. AMD users are receiving some of the most significant benefits in this release. One of the headline features is the decision to move older AMD GCN 1.0 and GCN 1.1 graphics cards to the modern AMD GPU driver by default. This change affects many legacy Radeon graphics cards that previously relied on older drivers. By transitioning these GPUs to AMD GPU, users gain access to modern Vulkan support, better compatibility, improved stability, and substantial performance improvements in many workloads. Some reports indicate performance gains reaching around 30% or more in certain scenarios, effectively giving aging hardware a new lease on life. For gamers, this update is particularly exciting. Linux gaming has improved dramatically over the past few years, and graphics drivers play a huge role in that progress. Better AMD GPU support means improved Vulkan performance, enhanced compatibility with modern game engines, and smoother gaming experiences on hardware that many people still use today. Instead of forcing users to upgrade graphics cards, Linux 6.19 demonstrates the power of software optimization and open-source development. Display technology also receives major upgrades in Linux 6.19. The kernel introduces the DRM Color Pipeline API, a long-awaited improvement that lays important groundwork for advanced display technologies, such as HDR workflows and improved color management. As monitors continue evolving with higher dynamic range capabilities and better color accuracy, Linux is steadily closing the gap with competing operating systems in professional display support. This development is particularly important for content creators, video editors, photographers, and users working with color-sensitive workflows. Security remains one of the kernel team's highest priorities, and Linux 6.19 introduces several important enhancements designed to strengthen system protection. One of the standout additions is support for PCIe link encryption and device authentication technologies. These features help secure communication between hardware devices and the system, reducing risks associated with hardware-level attacks and unauthorized device interactions. As cybersecurity threats continue becoming more sophisticated, improvements like these demonstrate Linux's commitment to proactive security development. Another notable security addition is initial support for Intel's linear address space separation, commonly known as LAS. This hardware-assisted security mechanism helps improve memory protection and can reduce certain classes of attacks that target memory vulnerabilities. While many users may never directly interact with this feature, it represents another layer of defense operating silently in the background to protect systems from emerging threats. System administrators and enterprise users also have plenty to be excited about. Linux 6.19 introduces the Live Update Orchestrator subsystem, designed to improve live kernel update capabilities. Maintaining uptime is critical for servers, cloud infrastructure, and enterprise environments. Traditionally, kernel upgrades often require reboots which can interrupt services and create operational challenges. New live update technologies aim to reduce downtime and simplify maintenance procedures, helping organizations keep systems secure without sacrificing availability. Containerized workloads and cloud-native environments continue to dominate modern infrastructure, and Linux 6.19 includes improvements that benefit these deployments as well. The addition of the new listens system call provides improved namespace visibility and management. Namespace are fundamental building blocks used by containers to isolate workloads. Better tooling and visibility allow administrators and developers to understand container behavior more effectively and manage large-scale deployments with greater confidence. Networking performance has also received attention in this release. Linux has long been known for excellent networking capabilities, powering much of the Internet's infrastructure. Linux 6.19 continues, refining networking subsystems with performance optimizations and infrastructure improvements that benefit servers, cloud environments, and high-performance networking workloads. Faster packet processing, better scalability, and improved efficiency contribute to stronger overall system performance. Storage performance improvements are another important aspect of this release. File systems remain at the heart of every operating system, determining how efficiently data is stored and accessed. Linux 6.19 includes multiple file system improvements aimed at enhancing performance, scalability, and reliability. These updates benefit everyone from desktop users loading applications to enterprise administrators, managing massive storage arrays. Faster file operations and improved file system behavior help create a smoother overall computing experience. The kernel's memory management subsystem also continues evolving. Efficient memory handling directly affects responsiveness, multitasking capabilities, and overall system performance. Linux developers consistently refine memory allocation and optimization mechanisms, ensuring that systems make the best possible use of available resources. These behind-the-scenes improvements may not generate flashy headlines, but they contribute significantly to real-world performance gains. Laptop users benefit from expanded hardware support as well. Linux 6.19 introduces new platform drivers, including support for Asus Armory and additional laptop platforms. These drivers improve integration with modern notebook hardware, enabling better functionality for features such as performance profiles, thermal management, keyboard controls, and system monitoring. Laptop compatibility has become increasingly important as more users choose Linux for everyday productivity and mobile computing. The Linux kernel's growing support for emerging hardware technologies continues with additional enablement for future Intel processors, ongoing Apple Silicon improvements, and support for newer system-on-chip platforms. Linux developers work continuously to ensure that cutting-edge hardware functions correctly from day one, and Linux 6.19 represents another step forward in that effort. One fascinating aspect of Linux 6.19 is its continued embrace of Rust programming language integration. While the majority of the Linux kernel remains written in C, ongoing Rust development aims to improve memory safety and reduce entire categories of software vulnerabilities. Although these efforts are still evolving, Linux 6.19 includes continued progress toward integrating Rust into more kernel subsystems, reflecting a long-term strategy focused on reliability and security. Another example of Linux's remarkable hardware support is the promotion of the general-purpose interface, bus driver into stable status. Originally developed in the 1970s for laboratory equipment, this technology remains relevant in scientific and industrial environments. By continuing to support both modern and legacy hardware, Linux demonstrates an extraordinary commitment to compatibility that few operating systems can match. For desktop users, many of the improvements in Linux 6.19 may not appear immediately obvious, but they collectively contribute to a faster, more reliable, and more capable operating system. Better graphics drivers mean smoother gaming and desktop rendering. Enhanced storage performance improves application loading times. Stronger security features provide additional protection. Expanded hardware support ensures compatibility with new devices. Every subsystem benefits from incremental improvements that together create a significantly better user experience. Perhaps one of the most interesting aspects of this release is its place in Linux history. Linux 6.19 serves as the final major release in the 6X series before the transition to Linux 7.0. According to Linus Torvalds, The move to version 7.0 is primarily a numbering change rather than a revolutionary architectural shift. Nevertheless, Linux 6.19 stands as the culmination of years of development across the entire 6.x generation and provides a strong foundation for future innovation. The scale of this release is impressive. Thousands of commits from developers around the world contributed to Linux 6.19, touching virtually every area of the kernel. Graphics, networking, storage, security, virtualization, drivers, memory management, file systems, and hardware support all received attention. This collaborative effort highlights the strength of the open-source model and demonstrates why Linux continues to dominate servers, supercomputers, cloud infrastructure, embedded systems, and an increasing number of desktops worldwide. At the end of the day, Linux Kernel 6.19 isn't just another version number. It's a comprehensive upgrade that improves performance, strengthens security, expands hardware compatibility, enhances graphics support, modernizes infrastructure, and prepares Linux for the next chapter of its evolution. Whether you're a gamer, developer, system administrator, content creator, or everyday desktop user, Linux 6.19 delivers meaningful improvements that will be felt across the entire ecosystem for years to come. And with Linux 7.0 now on the horizon, this release serves as both a powerful conclusion to the 6x era and an exciting preview of what's coming next.